Here's a thought that might sting a little. Your employer automated your money leaving your account years ago, but you have never once automated a single dollar going the other way. That means every single payday, you are making 100 tiny money decisions while you are exhausted, hungry, and running on empty after a long week. And that is why a lot of hardworking people stay stuck financially. It is not the size of the paycheck. It is what happens in the 24 hours after it lands. So today, I am going to walk you through the exact payday routine that quietly builds wealth without relying on willpower you do not have. Built for people earning hourly or trade wages. You and me, regular working people who trade hours for dollars and want those dollars to do something real. And in a minute, I will introduce you to Mike, because his payday used to look exactly like the one I'm about to describe. You clock out Friday, your phone buzzes, deposit landed. Gas, dinner out, a few purchases you have been putting off. By Monday, a chunk of that check is gone without a single decision made on purpose. I am not judging. I have been there. But the problem was never that you are spending. The problem is you've got zero system deciding where the money goes before your brain starts spending it for you. Because the second that check lands, your brain runs its own routine. It calculates what you can finally afford and how much you deserve after the week you had. So the real question is simple. Do you run the routine, or does your tired brain run it for you? Before any money moves anywhere, you need one number, your take-home, not gross. After taxes, after union dues, after everything that gets pulled before it hits your account, that is your real number, and the whole system runs off it. Now here's the trap for hourly guys. Your checks are not the same every week. Overtime one week, a missed day the next. So do not budget off your best week. Budget off your slowest. If your leanest check in the last 3 months was $900, build the system on 900. Anything above that becomes a bonus you aim on purpose. And where that bonus goes is a whole game, which we will get to. Step 1. Separate needs from wants and be brutal about it. Needs are rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, gas to get to work, health costs you cannot skip. That is the list. Everything else is a want. And I know somebody is already arguing that the truck payment is a need. Transportation is a need. The payment on a $60,000 pickup is a want. Be straight with yourself. If your true necessities eat more than 60% of your take-home, no budgeting trick fixes that overnight. Your fixed costs are too high, or you have talked yourself into calling wants needs because it is easier. Quick example for the trades crowd. Say you bring home $1,200 a week after taxes. Call it $4,800 a month. Rent, $1,400. Truck payment, $350. Groceries and gas, another $5, you are at $2,250 in true needs. Under 50%, you have room to work, but add a high truck payment, a storage unit you barely use, and a tool subscription you forgot about, and you are pushing 70% before you have bought a thing. Write it down. Add it up. No guessing. Step 2, and this one has to happen before you spend $1 on anything optional. Stay current on every debt you have. Cards, personal loans, any financing. This is not about wiping debt out yet. That comes later. This is purely never missing a payment. Sounds basic, but one late payment tanks your credit faster than 6 months of on-time payments can build it. And your credit is not some abstract score. It is whether you can finance tools for a side business. It is whether you get approved for the house your family actually wants. It is what you pay on insurance. One missed payment is never worth whatever you bought instead. Set every minimum to auto pay right now, and this step handles itself forever. Hold on to that idea because it is the key to the whole system, and we are coming back to it. Now, before we invest a single dollar, we have to solve the one thing that can wipe out years of progress in a single afternoon. Step 3, your emergency fund. Here's what it really is. It is the thing that stops a blown transmission from torching everything you have built. You know what happens to most guys when something breaks? It goes on a credit card, they pay interest for 6 months, and that $400 repair quietly becomes 6. An emergency fund ends that cycle for good. Target 3 months of your basic living expenses in a separate account you do not touch unless something actually breaks. For our $2,250 example, that's about $6,700. Big number, but you're not saving it in one shot. You're putting something aside every payday until you hit it. Even $50 a check stacks up. Keep it liquid. High-yield savings, FDIC insured, easy to reach. Not stocks, not crypto, nothing that can drop 40% the same week your truck needs an engine. Boring and accessible is the entire point, because the day that fund is full is the day you stop being financially fragile. And fragile is the trap. Fragile turns every surprise into a crisis, every crisis into debt, and every debt payment into money that could have been building your future. The cushion breaks the chain. But here is where almost everyone makes the mistake that quietly costs them the most money of all. Step 4. Investing for your future self. If your employer offers a retirement match, and a lot of union shops and bigger contractors do, that is your first move, period. Here is why. Imagine your boss offered to double the first 3% of every paycheck, and you said no every single Friday. That is exactly what skipping the match looks like. Say they match up to 3%. You earn 50 grand. That is $1,500 your employer drops into your retirement for free, as long as you put in $1,500 too. That is 100% return on day one. No stock, no real estate deal. Nothing on earth beats free matching money. Beyond the match, work toward 10% of your take-home going into investments over time. Not there yet? Fine. Start at 2 or 3% and bump it every time you land a raise, pick up steady overtime, or kill off a debt. Starting now beats waiting for the perfect moment every time. Here is the number that should shake you. $300 a month into a diversified index fund starting at 25 at an 8% average return could grow to around $1 million by 65. Start the same thing at 35 and you land closer to 400,000. That 10-year gap cost you 600 grand. You earned every hour behind that paycheck. Make the money keep working while you sleep. And do not overthink it. A simple broad market index fund through a Roth IRA or your workplace plan is plenty. You do not pick stocks. You do not time the market. Set it, contribute, let compounding do the heavy lifting for decades. Step 5. Attacking debt beyond the minimums. Emergency fund set, retirement running. Now you throw extra money at debt hard. 2 methods. Avalanche hits the highest interest rate first and saves the most math-wise. Snowball hits the smallest balance first for fast wins and momentum. Both work if you stick to one. Think of it like carrying buckets of concrete up a ladder. Every bucket you set down makes the next one lighter. Map all your debt out. Payment, balance, rate. Pick your target, throw every extra dollar at it every payday until it is gone. Then take that whole freed up payment and stack it on the next one. That is how the snowball picks up speed. The moment you kill a payment is the moment that money starts working for you instead of against you. Now the step that ties the whole thing together, and it is the most important one in the system. Automation. Your willpower after 10 hours on your feet is basically zero. You are wiped. You do not want to log in and shuffle money around. Totally normal, which is exactly why the system cannot depend on your energy. So picture a Friday. 3:02, the deposit hits. 3:03, a set amount moves to savings. 3:04, the emergency fund fills. 3:05, the debt payment leaves. Retirement already pulled automatically through payroll before you ever saw the check. By the time you open your banking app after work, every important decision is already over. Whatever is left in checking is your spending money for 2 weeks. It runs whether the week was great or brutal, because you already made every decision back when you set it up. Wealth is not built on payday. It is built in the 24 hours after. One thing people miss, the system needs updating when your life changes. Land a raise or steady overtime, raise the automatic savings amount. Pay off a debt, redirect that freed up payment straight into investments before it drifts back into spending. Automation is the engine, but you are still the driver. Check in every couple months and keep it matched to where you actually are. Remember Mike? Welder brings home $12.50 a week. Every Friday it was takeout, tools he did not need, and by Tuesday he was wondering where it all went. 6 months after he automated everything, he had thousands set aside and never once felt like he was budgeting. Same paycheck, same hours, different routine. That is the whole shift. Most people treat their paycheck like a finish line. You earned it, now enjoy it. Nothing wrong with enjoying what you earn, but the guys who actually build wealth treat that check as a starting line. The moment it lands is the moment you decide what future you are building. Every dollar is either working toward your freedom or disappearing into someone else's pocket. Every overtime shift should be buying you freedom, not another payment. You do not need a salary to build real wealth. No finance degree, no fancy app. Just a repeatable system you run every payday without exception. Know your real take-home. Keep true needs under 60%. Auto-pay every minimum so you never miss. Stack 3 months of expenses in liquid savings. Grab every dollar of employer match there is. Attack debt with one clear strategy. Automate all of it so the routine survives your worst weeks, then update it whenever something changes. 5 years out, the guys who ran a plan like this are in a completely different place than the guys who spent each check the second it landed. Same work, same hours. The only difference is the routine. Your employer already automated paying you. Now automate paying your future first.
See you in the next one. Let's build some wealth.